Huh.
I have some that like are the top ones.
Yeah.
If you,
I don't know. I don't know. None are coming to mind for me, honestly.
that's just
Hollywood kind of sucks. I mean, it's such a business and such a money machine, and that movie made so much.
I think like mass media, the most popular media that like we consume is by those who can produce it, who can create it, and that's like by the more privileged populations, which are like I feel like I don't necessarily seek out movies that are produced by people of color or indigenous people, and so I think it's something that like since I'm not looking for, I'm not going to be exposed to it because it's not like in popular culture.
I think me being in the UK might have a lot to do with it. Like I, I try to keep myself updated on the world, and like I had like a sort of working knowledge of indigenous peoples in America before I came to the US. It's only now that I was in like Buffalo, New York, and like over Thanksgiving last year, and like that's when I learned a lot because we were like going through I was asking questions as we were like going through places, and just learning about how like that's integrated, and like I've spoken since then with like the chief of like the local Abenaki tribe, and like that taught me a lot. But like in the UK, it's really like I don't think I've heard like a single like news headline on it. It's like always stuff on social media, and so when it comes to like what becomes popular, even within like not even within cinemas but like pop culture, I think that like stuff made by like indigenous people is like not on anyone's radar.
I think like people are scared to open up a larger conversation about it, and like because then it would be questioning so many other choices like exposés in that industry like then like create a larger disrupt in like kind of the norm and kind of like what is comfortable to people, and I think that's probably what people are avoiding, but that's dumb, like why, now that I'm thinking about it.
But also, like, I mean, I think there's definitely, like, a certain homogeny in what you see in films. And in the same way that, as I thought, like, The Princess and the Frog meant so much to me because of the fact that there was that diversity in it, like, I think that applies to, like, most, like, genres that exist, Like, what is popular, like, what sells is very much this narrative of, like, like, yeah, like, white people saving the day and, like, strong male, usually white leads. And it's what was socialized to think means good quality, And so, like, when you hear about stuff that's, like, produced in this way other than everything else that you've ever consumed and thought good, I think, like, there's, like, a sort of, like, gut reaction within, like, pop culture of, like, this can't be as good as, like, all this other cool stuff being made by these cool, like, white producers and what we're, like, used to seeing, basically.
Jake Sully. So if he comes in and is like playing this like very archetypical role of the white savior, and you don't like call it into question at all, then maybe it doesn't like spark enough conversation about it, right? But there's something like helpful in like seeing that, and I mean we're having a conversation about it right now because we're like that's as an issue and problematic. So like it's getting like to some people it's still effective as a conversation starter.
Totally.
And the question becomes like, what is the most effective way? Because also, if you don't have it at all, then you don't call it into question.
Yeah.
So there's like maybe a middle ground that's more effective.